What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster here on the Lenovo Legion Go. I have 6 gigabytes of VRAM set, but no matter what we do here, we're just going to be short on RAM in general. This game really wants a lot more system RAM and at least 16 gigabytes on its own before anything shared. So we do have an issue there. I am running on the OEM official Lenovo driver as well, although there is a newer driver out if you want to sideload. We'll talk about that also, but I want to take a look at the performance and the settings and kind of where I landed here, and maybe that'll help you guys figure out what you want to do with the game. Now, like I said, there is a new driver, 25.4.1. It's an optional driver from AMD that does have Oblivion support here, but it's not official for the Go. You would have to sideload that yourself. I have a few guides on the channel how to do that. They're all identical. It's never changed. It's just what version of the driver you're installing. So if you want to be able to do that, you can do that and try it out. I haven't tried that one yet. I am running on that official December dated driver that came out in January from Lenovo. We're also going to get a warning that we don't have enough system RAM, not necessarily VRAM, but system RAM here, which is the case. We are pretty short on that, which does cause some performance issues. Now, as far as settings, we'll start off with 1200p, but we are going to adjust that down, and we're on the low preset. We're actually going to adjust that up a bit though, and we also have options with FSR and XeSS in the game. If you're going to use in-game frame generation, I would recommend FSR because you need that to run that, or XeSS if you are not going to run in-game frame generation. Seems to be doing pretty well. So we'll use this one spot just to check out visuals and performance and get a general idea. And at 1200p, I just don't recommend trying to go that high here. The MSI Claw was kind of able to do it, but I really had to back things down there too to 900p. So even with frame generation and FSR on performance and all that, it's just not really worth it. And we have to stay on the low preset, which this game looks pretty rough when it comes to low. Now, if we go down to 1000p with the low preset, we can come up to about 36, 37 FPS right there. And you could probably get away with that if you're sticking with low settings. If I go 800p though, and we continue with that FSR balanced here, we can jump up to about 45 FPS while on low, which is going to give me some headroom when it comes to maybe raising those settings up here in a minute. Now we can also go in here and introduce frame generation, which with these settings will actually get you closer to 75 to 80 FPS, which is a bit more worth it. However, I just don't really like the in-game frame gen for this game right now. Maybe they'll update, but it's a bit janky and skips a lot because there are a lot of frame rate drops and things like that. Look, when we switch over to medium here from low, it's a dramatic difference, and there's a lot less issues with the game running in medium as far as visual effects. It just looks so much better that it's not worth me raising the resolution for me personally. So I pretty much stuck with that while moving a few things down to low, like foliage quality and a few other things, hair quality. You could do cloth, post-processing, anything you want to lower a little bit to get a little more performance out of it, but keep most of this stuff turned up so that it just looks a lot better than low, and to me, that's worth it over the resolution, especially on the screen of the Go. And as we get into things and we run around and we get into gameplay, there's going to be a ton of areas that drop into the 20s, some that will run up into the 50s. There's certainly a lot of skips and stutters and other issues with the game, not just on this device, but on almost any PC I've tried it on. However, we are so short on just available RAM on this particular device, with the Go only having 16 gigs total and that being shared, that's going to introduce some issues as well. We also are on that older driver, so maybe a little bit better performance with that side-loaded newer driver, but you're still going to have those RAM issues. But in general, this is pretty much how the game's running for me and what settings I wound up going with. XeSS if we're not getting into that frame gen, or FSR if you do want to. Pretty much tweak things to run how you want. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video as always. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Stand back, civilian. This is no place for you. Get back to the encampment at once.
Am I supposed to be impressed? Am I supposed to be impressed?
Thank
than 9. I never thought I'd see another friendly face.